not as hard as that last one. I am ready to see you go. Now, I did never promise you that I would take you. I said that I was going to try, and try I did. I really tried, and I could not get anyone to swing over, okay? So please, don't think I promised you this, but you are something. You are a force to be reckoned with. Good job.
Bring it out. Alright. Okay, this gives me an extra vote at a single tribal council. Take this parchment with you to the voting area and write your extra vote on the back. This advantage can be played at any tribal council, which there are at least 5 contestants remaining. Hopefully I don't have a curse with this thing.
Does it say the parchment or that? What's it say?
It says, Aaron, write your extra vote on the back. But that seems kind of weird if I put it in the urn and everybody's going to see what it says.
Do it on the back of the... Do you want this an extra one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this one has it twice. Pleasure playing with you, whether I go or you go. I just want to know, no hard feelings, but hold them together. But I'm not going down without a fight. I think I got at least 3, even if the other 2 flip. It's giving me exactly what I need.
This immunity every time, so I gotta get you out when I can. You've played a hard, awesome game. You've stirred the pot. You deserve to go far, but I want to win this game, and so I can't let you. You don't have an idol, and if you do, you don't come back pissed at me.
If this works, Bryce, I'm so sorry. You're gonna hate me. The long con that I was on the outs hopefully will work, and you will think that we are on the outs. If you play your idol, I hope you voted for Hannah. If you don't, then this is my biggest blindside of the game.
Bryce, tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
Good game, Bryce.
So walking over here, you said you're happy that you left it all out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's different flavors of regret.
Yes.
Right? There's the I didn't play, and there's the I left it all on the table, of course I would like to win.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling right now?
Really good, and maybe it's because I didn't just lose $1 million, but I think if I would have been voted out early, pre-merge, even, I just told myself I wanted to make it past that second merge vote, and I think I barely scraped by that, but that was my goal, just because I wanted to experience as much of it as possible. Like the fact that I made it to day 5, and got to be here every night, be here every single day, and like see it all the way through. Like I don't think I could have asked for anything better. And I feel like it was just, it was clear. It was a clear picture, and I think I knew where I was at, and I did everything I could, got to the very end. And I think the fact that I don't feel like there's anything more I could have done, that leaves me very satisfied.
So, is it your feeling that, I mean, because it came out in Tribal, but what we say in Tribal isn't necessarily 100% truth, although you were in a position where you were speaking truth. Is Hannah orchestrating this? Who's in charge right now?
No, I believe it to be Katie and Justin. I know we talked in the confessional last night, but I did not trust Justin a single inch from the minute I saw him. But there's got to be somebody that you feel like they're my ticket. And unfortunately, Justin just happened to be that one person that was pretty relentless in pursuing me. And even though I did not buy it for a second, I had to rely on somebody. So unfortunately, that's just where it sat. He is a very good liar, but I think I saw through it all. It just came down to I don't have any other choices. If I had an idol, I definitely would have played it there. Unfortunately, all I had was a fake one. So if I did have an idol, then it would be a completely different game. I think I could be sailing to the end, and that's out of my control. I can't just magically whip one up.
So obviously, joining the jury, the game's not over for you. There's still a chunk to play.
Right.
What are going to be your criteria moving forward? What are you looking for in a winner?
Yeah. I know last night we had talked, because you asked me who I would be willing to vote for.
Yeah.
And my answer is still not any of them. Like, none of them stick out to me above the other. I think it's always just been a core. So these last few votes are going to be really telling. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But I did tell you that I knew for a fact I would not be voting for Rachel, and I would not be voting for Justin. I think I'm open to voting Justin depending on his demeanor during Final Tribal. If he's going to continue what he's doing, he will lose my vote. But as far as it goes, I think if I had a winner pick, somebody that I would vote for to win if they made the end, it honestly would probably be Hannah at this point. But I have some scores to settle with her before I am willing to do that. So we'll see what happens.
So you're joining 3 others who are currently on the jury. What do you want to find out from them, and what do you think they want to find out from you?
Well, I already know what they want to find out from me right now, which is apparently they all believed I had a final 2, and you have 3 women sitting there going, and you're going like, oh my God. Like, because you're in this game, and you're just trying to control everything, or as much as you can, and you're already like stressed, you already have a lot going on around you, and then like to be out of the game and being like, free, relax, and all of a sudden you have 3 women up in your face, like ready, like scolding you with their finger. I'm just going, God, it's like, it's not over. So, so I know they want to know that from me, and I know what my answer is because I just have a bad history, or maybe it's a good thing, but of telling people I would like to work with them to the end or late in the game and not actually committing an actual number to where they believe that I mean final 2 or whatever. And it's also one of those things, they all came to me and go, final 2, like, and I go, yeah, because you don't say no. So it's just, hopefully that all makes its way out. But I can tell when they're sitting over there. I try to convince these guys, I was like, they don't like me right now. Like, they're not happy with me. So, especially Kathy, I'm kind of scared of her right now. So.
It's tough when the ex-girlfriends compare notes, right?
I know.
So who do you fully expect to be joining you at the next, after the next tribal council? Who's on the jury with you next?
I expect Maria to be here next, and then I expect Courtney to be here after that, or flip-flopped. Now in the final 3, it really depends on who wins. I would expect Katie or Justin to win, and I would expect them to probably just take each other. So I would expect that Hannah is going to be that 3rd slot. I think they are nervous about Hannah, but it doesn't make sense for them to vote out Hannah and then have 2 duels on either side and do like fire making or whatever. But it wasn't smart of them to do this either, I don't think, because there's 5 of them and somebody's about to go. So and then 2 people are going to be in a really bad position. So that's the thing I was trying to pitch. I think there's a difference. This is a difference between like Survivor fans, like people who watch the show and understand or think they understand of what to do or what happens, and the people who are thinkers, analyzers, and take action. So I think it's going to be one of those things where they walk in, oh, Bryce, I should have kept, and I'm going to be like, yes, you should have, because I understand that I was an immunity threat, but Katie's won 2, I've won 2. The next one could be something I'm bad at, and then you can get rid of me then once you've put yourself in a better position. I think that was too early for them to do that to me. But I do understand. So but somebody's going to regret it, and that's just always how it goes. So.
Well, and there's that architect piece. Like, when you're up against a 5, you said everything just right, where it's like, clearly 2 of you aren't in it, and you're going to find out very soon.
Yes.
And yet, when they don't budge, someone has created plausible, like they're buying whatever someone is selling. Who's the one selling that?
And I think I bought some of it. I mean, I will say that, because I'm even going to say it now, I don't know who was with who necessarily. I think it was a true thing that all of them were tight. So I do think that this was always their intention to just go to the end together, and that's fine. That's what our intention was too. I don't know if it would have played out the same way because I exist, but it could have. But as far as like who's really pitching it, I just think maybe I'd be more inclined to vote for Katie. I feel like Katie is somebody who's learned from I know she played last year. I think she learned a lot. I think she applied that here. I think she made the best of it. I just don't, they didn't let us in on a lot of game stuff, so I don't know the strategic side of what they've done, and that's what I'm interested to find out. But, so as far as who's selling it, I mean, I know they all have to think that Justin is the way that I perceive him as well. I think he's one of their go-getters. I think he's always been the go-getter from the beginning. So I would say if somebody's like really keeping everybody together, it's going to be Katie and Justin, and I kind of expect that to be the final 2 as well, which would probably be the best final 2 out of this scenario. I just, you know, when somebody comes up and talks to you and says, and you say, I just don't know what to do, I think I need to play my idol, and he gives you this fake panic, like, oh my, like depression and like overwhelming and like doing these acting things of like, oh my god, I can't do this, like stop talking, and like, there's such thing as like making it seem real and overdoing it, and I feel like that's always where Justin went, and so that's why, like, I could tell Maria wasn't voting with me this round, even though she said she was. When I asked her, I looked her straight in the eyes and I just said, just tell me, and I could tell, and she said, I mean that, like, objectively, blah blah blah. I'm going, no, not objectively, like, say yes or no. And then Courtney had been stirring the pot the whole time, to the point where I'm going, I just think it's something where I didn't think that Maria or Courtney were going to work with me, so I had Justin and Katie to rely on. And that's why I played my advantage as well, is because I go, if I have them 2, that's all I need. This is the one time to play it. And so as far as that goes, I just don't think there's anything better I could have done. Courtney did tell me to play the idol. She did tell me there are 4 votes coming my way. And so, of course, that was because she thought I had one, and so in that regard, I kind of feel like she was like wanting to work with me eventually, and so maybe she's just as pissed now that I didn't play an idol as I am. So we'll see. I don't even know what the question was. I don't know if I answered that.
We got there. So let's say it is Katie and Justin.
Yeah.
Is your vote live based on how they present themselves and their cases at Final Tribal, or do you know, like, when I say those names, I know who it's going to be?
No, it is live, because Justin's at least talked game with me. Katie barely. Pretty much just on the walk from this last immunity and then walking to it. She has given me nothing strategically. She's been very stone-faced. She's given me nothing personally. I know like very few things about her. And that's also just the circumstance of how the game is played out, and we just never got together. So she's going to have to work for that if she wants it from me, but I do kind of feel like she has been doing a good job from what I can perceive. So that's where I go, she has a chance at it. Justin, it's going to be about how he presents himself. I mean, I don't like egotistical people. I do not like slimy people. So if you're going to come to me and continue to be that way, it won't matter what he says or does, what he did or didn't do, it's just going to lose. I think it'll just lose my vote. So, I mean, yeah, so how they present themselves, Like, clearly Hannah is not super great about articulating her thoughts out loud. And so I need people to be bold, I need people to be straight, and I need people to just tell me, give me the reasons why they should win. But I would potentially vote for any of those 5. Like I said, I'm not bitter at all. I'm surprised that I'm not, but I think it was just literally like there's nothing else I could have done. And I think I gave him a hell of a fight, so I'm just happy about that.
So we talked a lot about game. You have some work to do in the jury, but setting that aside for a moment, the experience.
Yeah.
Coming out here.
I don't need to work with them at all, so it doesn't matter what they think of me at this point.
True. But the experience of playing in the game.
Yes.
How did it feel? How did it go?
Night 1, it gave me a respect for the actual players, because so many times I know every fan sits on their couch, and when somebody quits, or not even complains, like I understand complaining, but when they quit, you go, why? Like, you're so upset, you're going, that was potentially my spot, or whatever. But that first night, I mean, not having a tarp and having to build a little canopy, sleeping on the mud, wet blankets, like soaking wet, like, I mean, now that it's passed, it's like, I can't believe I did that, but in the moment, I kept thinking, like, please somebody come here, and, like, I'm gone. Like, we sat the next day, all day in the rain, and I was going, this is not fun. Like, I've read testimonials like yours and other people who have played this game, and I've heard so many fantastic things. I'm going, like, I'm bored to death, and I'm soaking wet, and the only thing I want to do right now is just leave. Of course, after all of it, I'm really glad I didn't. I think I would have let down a ton of people. So,
do you think in a way that kind of like added to the experience? Like in a way you're almost glad it happened?
It added to my hate of mud, and probably I'm not gonna camp for a really long time. No, I think, although those are true, I think it did add a lot to the experience. I think you look back and you kind of go like, holy crap, what I went through to just get here. And I think even today I was thinking about it, and somebody mentioned it, they're like, we don't need the fire anymore. Like, this was our last night. And I was like, oh my God, I've been out here for 4 nights now, which is crazy. I don't think I've camped more than like 2 nights, and it's always in a tent with a blow up mattress and stuff. And so the fact that like I did that, and then I feel like that was just the survival elements of the game. And then I got to experience the challenge part of the game, which I think a lot of people, I mean, where do you get to do stuff like this? Yeah. So that was exciting. And then the last thing was the strategic side. And I'm going, you know, is this really my thing? Like, is it something where I just sit on the couch and go, I could do that? Or is this something where I go like, no, I can do it? And I think getting to test my social boundaries and testing my strategic mind and playing against these people, whether they're strategic, fans, not fans, just followers, whatever, it's like that's part of every Survivor game. So it's like it was cool to experience this in that way, and I feel like I just got the full spectrum, and I think that's all I wanted. So
it was a pleasure.
Yeah.
And your game's not over yet.
Oh.
So we will get him to the rest of his jury, and we'll see how this plays out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bryce.
Yeah.